Hello everybody, and thank you so much for watching. We'll make this gorgeous two-color jacket today. The construction of this jacket is super interesting and a little different from what we usually do. The border we crochet with a secondary color around the entire jacket connects with the back stripe, which gives the jacket a beautifully framed look, and you won't believe how easy and fast it is to crochet. The primary color is called Gerbera, and I used about 3 skeins of Bloom yarn by Premier, and I used less than 2 skeins of the secondary color, Hydrangea. My jacket is a large adult size, crocheted with a size 11 hook. It is 25.5 inches long, 22 inches wide, and from the middle to the end of the sleeve about 27 inches. Now we can begin with our primary color and crochet the first hexagon. Let's start with a magic ring. Make a loop so your working yarn is in front of the loose end. Then pull the yarn through the ring and start round 1 with a chain of 3. 1, 2, 3 for the double and chain 2 for the chain space. Now let's repeat 11 more times. Double crochet into the ring and chain 2. Double crochet into the ring and chain 2. So altogether at the end of the round, including with the chain of 3, we will have 12 doubles with a chain of 2 in between. At the end of the round we have 12 doubles including the chain of 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's finish with a chain of 2. Now we can finish round 1 with a slip stitch into the 3rd chain, and I go through the left loop. Slip stitch and also slip stitch into the chain space, and we can start round 2, but first let's pull our magic ring tight. And we already can see our little L shape, but I have it on the wrong side. Turn it over. This is how the right side looks. Let's start round 2 with a chain of 3 for the first double crochet. 1, 2, 3. And double crochet into the first space one more time. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and double crochet 2 into the second space. 1 and 2, and that's already our first repeat. Now let's make it 5 more times. Go to the next space, make 2 doubles, 1 and 2. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Go to the next chain space and make 2 doubles into it. 1 and 2. Now we can repeat 4 more times, 2 doubles into the next chain space, chain 3 and 2 doubles into the next chain space. At the end of the round we have 2 doubles, 3 chains and 2 doubles into our last 2 chain spaces. Now let's double check. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 repeats. Let's finish round 2 with a slip stitch into the 3rd chain. 1, 2, 3, and I go through the left loop again. Slip stitch into the double and into the chain space, and we can start round 3. Let's start round 3 with a chain of 3 again for the double crochet. 1, 2, 3, then 1 more double into the chain space. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 more doubles into the chain space. 1 and 2. So our corners will always be 2 doubles, 3 chains and 2 doubles. Now let's take a look at our 4 doubles. We have 4 front loops, 1, 2, 3, 4, and behind it are the back loops. Now on the first double, it's hiding. You have to turn your work a little bit to see the back loop. So here's the front loop, behind it is the back loop. Double crochet into the back loop of the first double, in the back loop of the second double, in the back loop of the third double, and the back loop of the fourth double. We have 4 doubles into the back loops and we get a nice little line. Now let's repeat. Make your corner with 2 doubles, 1 and 2. Chain 3 and make 2 more doubles into the corner space. 1 and 2. And then 4 doubles into the back loops on the first double. That back loop is kind of hiding a little bit. 1, 2, 3, and 4 doubles into the back loops. And now we can repeat 4 more times, make 2 doubles, 3 chains and 2 doubles into all of the corners and 4 doubles into the back loops. We have our 6 corners and our 6 sides. I already made 2 double crochet on the last side. We need 4 and we have 2 more slip stitches left. Go into the back loop of the first slip stitch and make a double. That's our 3rd double, and the 4th double goes into the back loop of the 2nd slip stitch. And now we have 4 double crochet that are crocheted into the back loops. Now we can finish the round with a slip stitch into the 3rd chain, into the double crochet and into the chain space and start round 4. Round 4 is the same as round 3. We start with a chain of 3 and a double crochet into the corner space, then we chain 3 and make 2 more doubles, 1, 2 into the corner space. In each round we make 4 more doubles into the back loop than in the previous round. So we made 4 doubles here into the back loop, and now we have 8 double crochet into the back loops. And we make our corners with 2 doubles, 3 chains and 2 doubles. And you can finish the round again, make 6 double crochet into the back loops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the last 2 also go into the back loops of the previous slip stitches. Then we can slip stitch into the 3rd chain, into the double and into the chain space. I made 10 rounds altogether, and after 10 rounds my upper arm measured 8 inches. So that's where I stopped, and I made my 2nd hexagon exactly the same way. Now let's add some length to our jacket. We'll start on the bottom corner on the right side of the jacket as we're wearing it. Turn your jacket and we will crochet in between those 2 corners and go back and forth to add rows for the length. I'm making a slip knot and I will double crochet 2 into the corner. The first one is a standalone double crochet. 1 and 2. And now we can work the back loops again, double crochet into all of the back loops until you get to the other corner. Let's finish the row. Double crochet into the last back loop and then 2 more doubles into the chain space, 1 and 2, and we can start row 2 with a chain of 3. 1, 2, 3. Turn your work over to the wrong side. We made our chain 3 into that first double. Right here, skip over that, go into the next front loop and make a double crochet. So on the wrong side, we're double crocheting into all of the front loops. Let me do a few so we can see what it looks like on the right side. So front loops only. This is the wrong side, and when you turn it over, you get those lines again because we crocheted into the front loop on the wrong side. We can finish row 2 with a double crochet into the front loop of the last double. And then we can start row 3. It's the same as row 1. Chain 3, turn your work over, and now we're at the right side again. Here's the first double where we just made our chain into. So skip over that, go into the second double and into the back loops again. So we crochet into all of our back loops. I have to make 1 more double into the previous double, back loop, and then here's our chain of 3. You can turn it a little bit to see. Turn it over like that, and here's the back loop. It's a little bit tricky, but if you look, we get that line on the right side. Now we can start row 4 with a chain of 3. Turn your work over to the wrong side and double crochet into all of the front loops. And after a few double crochet, we can see our line on the right side. I double crocheted into the front loop of the last double, and here's the chain of 3. Before we double crocheted into the back loop, Now we crochet into the front loop. Crochet your last double into the front loop of the third chain. Then we can start row 5. It's the same as row 3. Chain 3, turn your work over to the right side and double crochet into all of the back loops. And now you can add as many rows as you like to make a jacket or a coat. And remember, we'll make a final border that will add a few more inches to your length. I made 7 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so I started and finished on the right side. Now the other side of the jacket, we also start in the corner, but on the back of the jacket, so we also start with the right side, make 2 doubles into the corner, and we can go back and forth and add the same amount of rows that we did on the other hexagon. So I will make my 7 rows on this side. Now we can change to our second color and add width to the back of our jacket. We will go back and forth in rows again on both sides, and I will make 3 rows, and it will give me a width of 21.5 inches. We will start with the right side of the jacket as we are wearing it, turn it over so you can see the back, and we will start in the top corner, and then we will go back and forth in rows between the top corner and the bottom corner. Here's the back of the jacket and the top corner. Double crochet 2 into the corner space, just like we did on the bottom of the jacket. Then we can double crochet into the back loops until we get to the next chain space and make 2 doubles into the chain space. Here are the posts of our doubles. Double crochet 2 around each of the posts, go around the entire post and make 2 doubles. 1 and 2 around the first post, 2 doubles around the next post, 1 and 2. Double crochet 2 around each of the posts until you get to the corner. When we get to the corner, we can double crochet 2 around the last post. 1 and 2, and we can start our second row exactly the same way that we did on the bottom. Chain 3, turn your work over. Now we're on the wrong side, so we double crochet into the front loops. So we're repeating exactly the same pattern that we did on the bottom of our jacket. This is the wrong side, and we get those lines on the right side. Crochet into all of the front loops, and at the end of the row, start your new one with a chain of 3, turn your work over, and then work into the back loops. And this will be my last row, so I make 3 rows, but you can make as many as you need to make your jacket wider. And please remember, on the right side we're crocheting into the back loop of the third chain, and on the wrong side we're crocheting into the front loop of the third chain if you want to continue and make more rows. Now let's do the other side of the jacket. We start in the back again, but this time on the bottom, so our first row can be on the right side again, and we go back and forth and repeat the same rows that we did on the other side of the jacket. On the back bottom corner, we have to crochet around each post again. Grab the first post and make 2 doubles around the first post. 1 and 2. And that's the same way we crochet the other side, 2 doubles around each post. And we can do that until we get to the first corner. We have 2 double crochet around each post, then 2 double crochet into the first corner, then we crochet into the back loops, and 2 double crochet into the second corner. And we can start a new row with a chain of 3, turn the work over to the wrong side and crochet into the front loops. And repeat the same amount of rows that you did on the other side of the jacket. Now let's make the back seam for our jacket. We will slip stitch our 2 pieces together. We'll start on the bottom corners and slip stitch up to the neckline. We're starting in the bottom corner. Place your pieces together so the right sides face each other inside, the wrong sides are out. Now we will crochet front loops together with back loops. Here's the front loop, behind it is the back loop. Grab the front loop of the first stitch, for me that's a double, and the back loop of the second stitch. 1, 2, 3, for me it's the third chain. Front loop, back loop. Go into the back loop of your first stitch on the second piece and make a slip stitch. So we're just grabbing each of the doubles and slip stitching front loops together with back loops. Oh, I split my yarn right here, I'm sorry about that. Front loop, back loop, slip stitch, and one more time front loop, back loop, slip stitch, and I'll do a few so we can see what it looks like. Here's the wrong side, and here's the right side. We get two nice little lines on the top and on the bottom. And here's my neckline, front loop, back loop, and slip stitch. So remember to slip stitch those last two stitches together. Here's the wrong side, and here's the right side. Our back seam is done. Now we can continue with our sleeves. Fold your jacket inside out, so the right sides are inside and the wrong sides are out. Then we can put our two corners of the sleeve together and start right there with our sleeve seam. We have our two corner spaces, and we can make two single crochet right around the two chains. 1 and 2. And here our double crochet, and we grab the front loop again and the back loop and slip stitch. So we're making slip stitches again into all of the doubles, front loop, back loop, slip stitch, front loop, back loop, and slip stitch. Here's the wrong side, and you again get those two nice little lines on the right side. You can slip stitch all the way to the corner spaces if you like, but I will leave the last double empty, and it gives me a neck space of about 8 inches. You can leave more doubles empty if you need a bigger neck space. Now we can turn our entire jacket around and do the other sleeve. The right side still face each other inside. And flip your sleeve over so you can see your chain spaces, and then you can repeat 2 single crochet into the chain space and then crochet front loops and back loops together. Now you can make the same amount of stitches that you did on the other side. We leave our chain spaces empty again, and I left my last double crochet empty on the other side, so that's what I'm doing here. So my last stitch goes into the second to last double crochet, and you leave as many empty as you did on the other side. My neck space is about 8 inches. I did sew in all my loose ends, and then I turned my jacket right side out again. Now let's add a border around our jacket, and we will do it with the secondary color again. We will start on the bottom left corner as we're wearing our jacket and go all the way around, and I suggest making at least 3 rounds to make a nice collar. I will make 4 rounds. This is the bottom left corner, right side up. You make 2 double crochet around that last post. For me that's a chain of 3. 1 double and the second one around the post. Chain 3. Now I will go into the back loop of the third chain. If it's a double crochet for you, go into the back loop of the double crochet and make 2 doubles into the back loop. 1 double and the second one, so we have 2 double crochet into the back loop of the first post, and then we double crochet into all of the back loops of our previous double crochet. When we get to the part in the middle, we have our posts where we double crochet 2 around right here. Also go into the back loop of that stitch and make a double crochet. And I got a little bump right here. That's where I did sew in a loose end right there. Then we have our posts. For the back, crochet 2 around each of the posts. 1 and 2. Double crochet 2 around each post. And when we get to the seam in the middle, we can skip over that and double crochet 2 around each of the remaining posts. And once we've done that, we have our post again where we double crochet 2 around in the previous round. Go into the third chain or into the double, but make sure it's into the back loop and make a double crochet into the back loop. And now we can double crochet into all of the back loops again until we get to the second corner. When we get to the corner, leave the last stitch empty and double crochet 2 into the back loop of that last stitch. So it could be the third chain or the double. For me it's a double, and I crochet 2 into that back loop. 1 and 2. Chain 3. 1, 2, 3, then we can turn our work a little bit and crochet along the front of the jacket, and we double crochet 2 around each of the posts again. 1, 2 doubles into the first post, and that's now our new corner. And then continue to double crochet 2 around each of the posts. And we can do that until we get to the next chain space. When we get to the space, we can make 2 double crochet into the chain space and then double crochet into all of the back loops until we get to the neckline. And then make our corner with 2 doubles, 3 chains and 2 doubles into the corner space of the neckline. Now I have 1 double here. If you have no doubles, you can skip it, but go into the front loop this time, so not into the back loop. And I have 1 double, so I make 1 double into the front loop. Then here's my seam. I go into the seam and make 1 double. So make double crochet into your doubles into the front loop. And if you don't have them, then you can skip to the seam. Then here I have another double and I go into the front loop, not into the back loop. Now we should have the chain space all together. We make 2 double crochet into the chain space, and in the back we can double crochet 2 around each of the posts again. Just like we did on the bottom of the jacket. And we can skip over the seam again and double crochet 2 around the posts on the other side. So on the other side we just repeat exactly the same stitches we did on the first side. Here's my last post. Go around the post, 2 doubles, 2 doubles into the chain space, 1 and 2, and I have double crochet here, so I go into the front loop of the double crochet. Then I go into my seam and make a double crochet into the seam. I have to make 1 more double into the front loop, and you can repeat the same stitches that you made on the other side. And here's our corner space. We make 2 doubles into the corner space, 1 and 2, chain 3, 2 more doubles into the corner space, and now we can crochet into all of the doubles of the previous round, but into the back loop again. Double crochet into all of the back loops down the front of the jacket. But before we continue, let me show you one more time real quick how our collar looks. We will crochet into the front loops around the collar, so when we flip it over later on, we can see the lines on the right side. Crochet down the front of the jacket into the back loops, 2 double crochet into the chain space, and then 2 double crochet around each of the posts. Now let's finish our round together. I got lucky and I finished the round with the same color. Let's finish with 2 slip stitches into the doubles, 1 and 2, and a slip stitch into the chain space, and we can start the next round with a chainless double. Pull a loop a little shorter than your double crochet and twist counterclockwise. Go into the chain space, pull a loop, pull through the loop, and then behind the loop on your hook, so twist clockwise. Then pull through 2 loops. Now this looks a little prettier than the chain of 3, and it's the front of our jacket. Now double crochet 1 more into the chain space, chain 3, and double crochet 2 into the chain space. So our corner is again 2 doubles, 3 chains, and 2 doubles. And now we can crochet all of our remaining double crochet on the bottom of the jacket into the back loops. All of the doubles go into the back loops across the middle of the jacket the same way. And then we can make our second corner like we did on our hexagons with 2 doubles, 3 chains and 2 doubles. Everywhere else we crochet into the back loops. Up the front of the jacket also into the back loops. And then let me tell you really quick how our neckline is going to look. It's very easy as well. We have our two corners on the neckline with 2 doubles, 3 chains and 2 doubles into the corner space here, and 2 doubles, 3 chains and 2 doubles into the corner space over there. And right in here, we're making all of the doubles into the front loops. So no decrease, no increase, just double crochet into all of the front loops. So when we later turn our jacket over and our collar is turned around, we can see the line on the right side. Then we continue to crochet down the front of the jacket into the back loops again. And then we can finish this round. The last 2 doubles go into the 2 slip stitches that we made in the previous round, 1 and 2 into the back loops. Now let's finish this round together, and I want to show you how to make the chainless double one more time. Here are our last 2 doubles into the back loop of the slip stitches 1 and 2. Here's our double crochet. Next to it is the chainless double. We also have a V-stitch. You have to turn it a little bit to see. Go into that V-stitch of the chainless double and make a slip stitch. Slip stitch into the double crochet and into the chain space, and we can start a new round with a chainless double again. Pull your long loop, twist counterclockwise, pull a loop through the chain space, pull through the loop, then behind the loop on your hook, so twist it clockwise, and pull through 2 loops. Then double crochet 1 more into the chain space, chain 3 and double crochet 2 more into the chain space. So we have our corner again with 2 doubles, 3 chains and 2 doubles. And on the bottom of the jacket, we can crochet into all of our back loops again. Now let's go over our pattern one more time. So we have our 4 corners, and we will make them with 2 doubles, 3 chains and 2 doubles. Then on the 3 sides, the left and the right side, on the bottom of the jacket, we will crochet into the back loops. And on the collar, we crochet into the front loops. I made 4 rounds, and I added some buttonholes on my last round. You can add some buttonholes as well if you like. I added them to the right side of my jacket as I'm wearing it. I made my last bottom right corner with 2 doubles, 3 chains and 2 doubles. Then I double crocheted 4. I chained 1, skipped 1 and double crochet 8. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet 8, and I did that 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 buttonholes. And here my collar folds over, so I only needed 6 holes, but you can make as many as you like and also adjust the spacing as you like. Our jacket is almost done. Let's finish with the sleeves. We will start our sleeve with the first double crochet to the left of our seam. Right into the back loop of the first double crochet, I made a slip knot and I pulled that through that back loop. Chain 2 and double crochet into the back loop of the next double, and that already counts as a decrease. That's 2 doubles together. Now double crochet into all of the back loops. We will make 2 decreases in each round, at the beginning of the round and at the end of the round. Now let's finish this first round together. Double crochet all the way around and leave 2 doubles empty. We will crochet those 2 together for the decrease. Yarn over, go into the back loop of the first double and leave 2 loops. Yarn over, double crochet into the second double into the back loop and leave 3 loops. Pull through 3 loops, so that's our decrease at the end of the round. Now we have the 2 chain spaces left. Double crochet into the first chain space and into the second chain space. And we can finish this round. Here's our chain of 2. 1, 2, skip over that and slip stitch into the first double crochet. And we can start our next round with a decrease again, the chain of 2 and a double crochet into the next back loop of the double crochet. So that is a decrease again. Then double crochet into all of the back loops again, all the way around. So here we have our first decrease, and we'll make the second one again at the end of the round. At the end of the round, we always leave 4 stitches empty now. 1, 2, 3, 4. The first one is the double. The second one is the one we previously crocheted together. So we now crochet those together for the decrease. Go into the first double, into the back loop, make your unfinished double, leave 2 loops, go into the second double. That's the one we previously crocheted together. It's a bigger loop. Go into that back loop, leave 3 loops and pull through 3. So we have the decrease here. And then here our doubles, we crochet into the chain spaces, go into the back loop of the first double, make a double, and double crochet into the back loop of the second double. And now we can finish again with a slip stitch into the double, so skip over the 1, 2 chains and make a slip stitch into the double, chain 2, and again double crochet into all of the back loops of all of the doubles. So we have our decreases at the beginning and at the end of each round. Leave 4 stitches empty again at the end of the round. 1, 2, 3, 4. We double crochet the first ones together, the double, and the one we previously double crocheted together. Go into the back loop, leave 2 loops, go into the back loop, and leave 3 loops. Pull through 3, we have our decrease. Now we have 2 more stitches left, double crochet into the first back loop and into the second back loop. And we can finish our round again. Skip over the chain of 2 and slip stitch into the double crochet. Chain 2, double crochet into the back loop of the next double, and that's our decrease. And then double crochet into all of the back loops. Leave 4 stitches empty again at the end, and double crochet the first and the second one together and make 2 doubles. I made 7 rounds and I left it a little short to add 2 rounds with my secondary color. On the last 2 rounds I didn't make any decreases. Let me show you how to make some rounds without decreases. We have our 2 doubles together, then 2 more doubles, and here's the chain of 2 with a double crochet. Go into the back loop of the double crochet and pull a loop through and chain 3. So we don't decrease, we just chain 3 for a double. 1, 2, 3. Then go to the next back loop of the next double crochet and double crochet into those back loops all the way around. And we are not decreasing, so it's just double crochet into all of the back loops. Once we crochet all the way around, we can skip over the chain of 3, 1, 2, 3, and slip stitch into the double crochet, so that will give us the illusion of that front loop. Chain 3 to start a new round, and now we have to double crochet into the back loop of the same stitch that we just made a slip stitch into, so we do not decrease and we have a correct stitch count. And now we can double crochet into all of the back loops all the way around. But the important part is that when you make your slip stitch in the beginning, you chain 3 and then make your first double crochet into the back loop of that same double crochet, the first double crochet. You can try your jacket on a couple of times and double check that you like the length of your sleeve and the width. Now our hexagon jacket is done. I hope you like it and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.